And welcome to In the Library with
Tara
and Adrian. Today's top story, Harold and the Purple Crayon by Crockett Johnson. Have you read Harold and the Purple Crayon?
Yes, I read it this morning.
Was that your first time reading it?
It was.
And what did you think?
Well, first of all, I'm surprised. I don't know if I'm more surprised that I've never read it or that so many people have, because I didn't realize how popular this book was. So that surprised me. Have you ever seen the show Chalk Zone?
Never.
Like, it's a cartoon. It's like, Rudy's got the chalk zone. No. Okay, cool. That's the theme song. It's a cartoon about this kid who has this magic chalk, and he can go into Chalk Zone, and then he draws whatever he wants. And it's basically like the same idea, just an age gap. And it's really cool. So when I was reading this, I was just thinking of that TV show the whole time.
Is it legally distinct because it's chalk and not a crayon?
Probably. I also don't know. How old is this book? Chalk Zone might have come out first. Let's see.
Harold and the Purple Crayon? It was 1955.
Nope, this came out first.
Yeah. 1955 by Crockett Johnson. Crockett Johnson, who, of course, died in July of 1975.
So he died before Chalk Zone came out.
That's true.
Well, I'm thinking whoever created Chalk Zone got the idea from this, probably.
It's entirely possible.
But it's a good show. You should check out an episode or two.
I think I'm a little older than its target demographic, but I will look into it.
It's got to be better than the movie version of Harold and the Purple Crayon.
Have you seen the movie version of Harold and the Purple Crayon?
I have no desire. I don't like it when you turn a book into a movie, but then change everything about the book. You have all these people who like love something, and then you just destroy it. And maybe it's fantastic, and I don't know, but it's like, I'm assuming from what I've seen from the commercials, it does not look like it follows the book at all.
So, I did both reread the book, because I first read the book. It missed my childhood completely. I was teaching in Japan in 2009 when the English teacher handed me the book and told me we were going to teach the kids. And I made mention that I'd never read the book before, and she was surprised because she assumed all American children read Harold and the Purple Crayon at some point.
I think it'd be hard to find a book that literally every person in a country has read.
Yeah.
Not impossible, but I feel like it'd be really hard.
It would be hard. Maybe you could make a case for like The Outsiders or Of Mice and Men for American high schoolers, but...
Well, yes, at one point in time, but I think both of those are also on banned book lists in different areas, or were.
It's entirely possible, yeah. So for our listeners who are not aware, Harold and the Purple Crayon was originally written and published in 1955, and they made a movie adaptation that came out this year, 2024.
With Zachary Levi, who I do really like.
Yes. It stars Zachary Levi as the eponymous Harold.
But Harold's a baby.
Well, they mention that. And it starts with an animated Harold who turns into an adult Harold who turns into live-action Zachary Levi.
Is it like the baby grew up and became Zachary, or is it like the baby was like, I'm going to draw myself as an adult?
So there's an old man who drew Harold into life, which you might assume is Crockett. But the old man drew Harold to life and gave him the magic crayon, and he aged because everything ages, and then the old man stops narrating his life, and so he draws himself a magic portal to the real world.
Oh, so he wasn't a fake world to be... Wait, so he grew up in the cartoon world, and then as an adult cartoon came to...
And the book, Harold and the Purple Crayon, exists in the movie, because a librarian reads it to them. So...
It's an interesting concept.
Yeah, I thought...
I don't hate that as much as I thought I would.
I will say it is definitely targeted towards a younger audience.
I would assume.
It is absolutely rife with weird characterizations. This is my own personal thing. Everyone's free to take this as they will. But if you come across two persons who are talking crazy, maybe don't bring them home and let them stay at your house overnight. You know.
That's how I make all my friends.
Yeah. That's literally, I don't remember. Who's a new girl?
Zoe Deschanel.
Yes. She finds Harold, Zach Levi, and his friend Moose, who turns into a human as well. Not a moose.
Was he a moose in one of
Yes, he was a moose in the cartoon world, but he became a person. There's also a porcupine in the cartoon world that turns into a woman.
Oh, it's the ones that he fed in the book, the pie.
But they turn into humans in the real world, and they are friends. Right, so they turn into humans in the real world, and Zoe Deschanel's character comes across Harold and Moose when she hits them with a car. And they say they're looking for their old man, and so she takes them home for the night. Which
one should, Wait, what happened to the porcupine?
She goes later and gets separated and goes on a series of law-breaking misadventures before they join back up.
Oh, I think I like her storyline.
Yeah.
Is the book an actual series? Was there a bunch of books or just the one book?
I thought it was just the one book.
I don't know. For some reason, all of a sudden I started thinking, I wonder if this is multiple.
Yeah. So I may
I'm
have
not
to
gonna lie, you actually make it sound better than I was anticipating, and even though you say it's not a great movie,
okay, so
I'm curious.
So, for our listeners out there is a series.
Oh.
Harold and the Purple Crayon, followed by Harold's Fairy Tale, Harold's Trip to the Sky, Harold at the North Pole, Harold's Circus, A Picture for Harold's Room, Harold's ABC, Harold and His Friends,
Wow.
Adventures of Harold and His Friends, and Harold's Treasure Hunt, which was published posthumously in 2020.
Does he have a purple crayon in all of them? Does he create the North Pole and draw his friends?
This does not. I haven't read them.
Huh.
But
because I feel like if he's not drawing,
there was also
it's very disappointing.
There was also a 13-episode animated series that ran from 2001 to 2002. I vaguely remember that. I was too old for it, but it came out while I was in high school.
Do you remember on Nickelodeon, for a long time, they used to have these really short episodes of things? It would be just a 2-minute thing that was in the commercial. Mm-hmm. I feel like this would be perfect for something like that. You could just on the commercials just have a 45-second, 1-minute thing of Harold drawing something crazy and giggling and running off. This would be perfect.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's pitch it to the people who now control the property.
Hey, Nickelodeon! I don't own the rights to anything, but reach out. I got ideas.
Maybe Columbia Pictures? Oh, so this is going to get complicated. So the movie was apparently Columbia Pictures, but there's also a Broadway musical in production now, so...
What? Why? So, I feel like we have a problem right now in our arts world where there's no new original ideas. Everyone wants to do remakes or sequels, and it's not that I have a problem with that, but it's just that's all that we're putting out there. So I'm let's get some new original ideas. There's a lot of creative people coming up with really great stuff, and they just need people to believe in them.
That's fair. Especially your idea about adapting Harold into shorts.
Well, that
clearly an original idea.
I wasn't saying mine. I had some original ideas.
I have one, and when I went to pitch it, I got threatened with some cease and desist and restraining orders, and it was a whole thing.
Doesn't sound like an original idea.
Well.
So what happened with the restraining order? This could be a fun story.
It's not important.
I think it is.
So, aside from Harold and the Purple Crayon, what else have you been reading?
Oh, I actually just finished a really good book. It's Before the Coffee Gets Cold. Mm-hmm. And it's a series, and it was originally in Japanese, and they just translated it to English. And have you read it?
I have.
Oh, it's such a neat idea. It's so for anyone who hasn't read it, it's a cafe, and there's one particular seat that if you sit in it, you can go back in time. But there's a million rules that you have to follow. And it's such a great concept because of how I think it only works because of how they are affected and how they react when they get back to the present. Now, mind you, they only have like 30, 45 seconds with these people. Like, it goes so quick.
I mean, the time for a cup of coffee to go from boiling to cool.
It's for like a giant mug. No one ever asked for a bigger cup.
Maybe that's part of the rules. Maybe it has to be a standard size.
But I also want to know where the rules came from. How do they know about these rules?
So
someone had to originally like started this, or like how do you come up with the rules? How do you figure out yes or no? Come on.
I will say a lot of Japanese mythology has rules that people just inherently know. It's just part of their myth is that people just know how the rules work. And so I think it's just kind of an extension of that. When they come across something magical, they just sort of understand it.
Oh, so you know what? Someone gives me like a magical option, but then says like, you get 30 seconds. You can't do this. I'm like, you know what? Let's give it a try. I'll turn, if you know what, worst come to worst, you turn into the ghost.
I mean, the ghost seems friendly enough, right? In the book? There's a ghost in the book.
It's complicated. You gotta wait for the ghost to get out of the seat, then you can take the seat, and then you gotta come back before the coffee gets cold.
Yeah.
But there's multiple books. I think there's like 3 of them. So I got through the book a lot faster than I thought I would, and I'm very intrigued to continue on. I'm hoping that they explain more about the ghost and the backstory in the next ones, do they?
I have not read the rest. I've only read the first one.
Okay.
My understanding, because the first one is kind of a collection of short stories that just overlap a little bit.
Yeah.
I wonder if all of the ones in the series are similar, where it's vignettes that connect.
I hope so, because I actually really like that type of story. I love movies that do that, kind of like New Year's Eve and Valentine's Day. Those are both really great concepts. I mean, you might not care for the storyline or not, but I like the idea that like we're all kind of interconnected.
We are one.
We are the world. What are you reading right now?
I read a book called Practical Book Conservation this week.
That sounds exciting.
It was not. It was about the proper way to measure and cut paper. Mostly. Because a lot of book preservation is soaking paper, deacidifying paper while it's soaking, putting rice paper over holes and then trimming it back. So it was very exciting stuff. And needless to say, I was riveted and I slept well all week. So, changing gears a little bit, let's talk about what's going on at your local library. Why don't you start us off?
With all the Santa stuff?
All the Santa stuff.
It is Santa season, guys. So we have quite a few events where you can see Santa or Mrs. Claus. Starting it off at the Bedford Branch Library on November 30th is the Santa Breakfast. If you would like to go to that, you will have to reach out directly to Karen or Manal, and it's usually a really fun event. Coming after that, on December 2nd, is a Santa visit at Vivian Branch Library at 5:30. I do need to say that this event is full, so if you would like to possibly join the waiting list, we can look into that for you. But all the rest of these are open and ready to go. At Newport Branch on December 6th at 6:30 p.m., there is a visit with Santa and crafts. Blue Bush on December 7th from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. is Santa Claus is Coming to Town. At the Ida Branch on December 7th as well, same time, 10 to 11 a.m., is Stories with Mrs. Claus. So you will have to pick between Blue Bush and Ida, unfortunately. At Frenchtown Dixie on December 9th at 5:30 is a Santa visit. Come on out, tell Santa what you want for Christmas. And last but not least, at Carlton Branch on December 14th from 5 to 8 p.m. is Santa Comes to Town. The busy guy.
If I'm really fast, do you think I can make it to Blue Bush and Ida at the same time?
At the same time, no, but they both go from 10 to 11, so you could feasibly spend like 20 minutes at each and then drive in between.
Okay, assuming I don't have a car and I want to run.
If anyone could do it, you could. I say we put this to the test.
All right.
But I do have to say, the one at Newport is Visit with Santa and Crafts, and I don't think you're going to be able to do both. So
But if I take the supplies, I can do the craft while I'm running.
you got to talk to the librarian about that. It's not my call.
Fair enough.
What else is happening?
Staying on the Christmas theme, here at the Bedford Branch Library, we'll be having the Tea Light Ornament. This is a program for all ages, taking place December 5th, 2024, from 3 to 4:30 p.m. Come create an adorable snowman ornament for your tree. Space is limited. Registration is required.
Sounds like a fun event. I kind of want to go.
What if I don't like tea? Can I make a coffee light ornament?
Tea is better.
That's not what I asked. Can I make a coffee light ornament?
If anyone else wants to, we'll give it a shot, but no.
Okay. How about an S-light ornament?
What's an S-light?
Well, it's a tea light, so it's one before.
No, but you can do a U-light.
A U-light. Okay. Good. Is that like a sheep?
No, that'd be a ba light.
One more from me real quick here. Coming up very, very, very soon.
Very soon.
November 26th, 2024, from 6 to 8 p.m. Quizzical Trivia Night. Teams of up to 5 persons are invited to compete in a free multi-round trivia competition. Refreshments are provided. Registration is open to the first 6 teams. If you do not have a team, feel free to register and send us a message. We will find you one. Bum, bum, bum.
I wonder who's putting together that event.
I think I'm going to step down from my role and assign it to you. How's that sound?
No. I mean, it'd be really fun, but you would do much better. But, however, my team can't do it this time, so I am looking for a team. So if someone needs a buddy, please reach out. My team did win last time. It probably didn't have much to do with me, but still, throwing that out there.
My 9-year-old will join you.
Yes! Get all the kid questions. But those are the ones I got right last time, too, so...
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
All right, also coming up at the Bedford Branch Library is the Yule Ball. This is for witches and wizards. The magic begins Friday, the 6th of December in the year 2024 from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. This will be at the Bedford Branch Library Community Room. Strictly dress to impress, costumes or formal wear. So again, if you're a big fan of Harry Potter, come on out to the Yule Ball.
Do you think they sell tuxedo-themed robes?
Well, no, you have different styles of robe. So you wouldn't have a tuxedo, but you would have dress robes as opposed to your everyday or your school robes. So they're nicer, stylish.
And what's the
pretty
difference?
Colors.
What's the difference between a normal robe, let's say a business robe, and a formal robe?
So it would be the material that it's made out of, possibly the color. It's kind of like having the difference between like a suit and a tux, or like a casual dress, or like a Met Gala gown. So nicer material, maybe some sparkles, magic shooting out of the sleeves. I don't know. Right, also happening within the community, the Sylvania Community Orchestra presents Dial M for Murder. Wait.
That's not murder.
Dial M for Music. There's a play with that name. I didn't read the whole thing. Sorry. Dial M for Music. A free concert at 4 p.m. on November 24th at the Franciscan Center at Lourdes University.
All right. And other things going on around our community. Save the date. There'll be a Christmas potpourri on Sunday, December 8th, 2024 from 11 to 3 p.m. This will include a sanctuary stained glass window tour, jewelry, bake sale, craft tables, Granny's Attic, soup and salad lunch. This is taking place at the First Congregational Church, 2315 Collingwood Boulevard, Toledo, Ohio, 43620. Do we need the zip code on this? I don't know if we do.
Just in case.
Just in case.
The Nutcracker Toledo Met on December 7th, 2024 at 1:30 and 6:30 p.m. And then it'll also be on December 8th at 1:30 p.m. So this is taking place at the Franciscan Center at Lourdes University. Come out to see the Nutcracker.
Have you ever seen the Nutcracker before?
I have never seen it, but I've been in it like 10 times. Because I grew up dancing and we did the Nutcracker like every year. So I was a fighting mouse, and I was I was a gingerbread girl, and one year I was a gingerbread boy.
You say you were a fighting mouse, but nothing has changed.
No, I eat just as much cheese.
Well, there you go. And when you say... Never mind.
Gingerbread girl and gingerbread boy.
Never mind.
It's just different costumes. So one year I wore a skirt and 1 year I wore pants.
But the ginger doesn't have anything to do with the hair color. It's just the nature of the cookie.
Maybe that's why I was cast.
Ba-dum-bum. Anyway, we want to thank you for listening. If there's anything that you would like to recommend for our listeners to read, or anything you think we should discuss on the show, please feel free to leave a comment down below. Please like and subscribe to this video so you can get more of this inane babble every week.
Give us recommendations, what we should read, or things we should read and watch.
Ooh. And notice I said every week, but we're clearly going to be off next week for Thanksgiving. So,
Well, with that attitude,
that's right.
I would do it for you all, but Adrian says no.
This has been In the Library with
Tara!
and Adrian.
Toodaloo!